So you're a homeowner here in beautiful Sarasota, and you're thinking about a pool enclosure. But you've probably noticed it can get, well, a little confusing. One person tells you a permit's not a big deal, another gives you a quote that seems way out there. It's a lot to sort through. In this explainer, we're gonna cut right through all that noise and give you a clear, straightforward guide to how it all works. Right, let's just tackle the big question right up front. How is it even possible that for the same pool cage, one contractor says no permit needed, another one is talking all about engineering plans, and the quotes are thousands and thousands of dollars apart? It seems crazy, right? Well, there's a reason for it, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Okay, here's our game plan. We've broken this down into 5 key sections. First up, we'll talk about what makes Sarasota's situation so unique. Then, we'll solve that confusing permit puzzle. After that, we dive into the nitty-gritty of engineering for our wild Florida weather, look at the materials that really matter in the long run, and finally, wrap up with how you can avoid some really common and costly mistakes. Let's jump in. All right, section 1, let's get down to the fundamentals. Why is building a pool enclosure in Sarasota so different? And honestly, why is it more complex than you might find in other parts of the country?
You see, the very first thing you have to wrap your head around is this. In Florida, a pool enclosure isn't just a screen you put up. Legally, the Florida Building Code sees it as a permanent addition to your home. That means it has to be engineered to stand up to hurricane force winds and be fully integrated with your home's foundation. It's not a patio accessory, it's a real piece of construction. And because it's a permanent structure, that leads us directly to the first major hurdle, and honestly, a source of so much confusion for homeowners: permits. Before a single piece of aluminum is cut, you absolutely have to know whose rules apply to your specific street address. And here in Sarasota, this is where it gets a little tricky. You're either in the city of Sarasota, or you're in the unincorporated county, and believe me, their rules are not the same. The city, for example, might have really strict zoning rules that say you can't even build an enclosure in certain parts of your yard. The county, on the other hand, uses a different system, has different fees and different timelines for inspections. A professional contractor has to know exactly which jurisdiction you're in before they even think about a design. So, once you know which rulebook you're playing by, it's time to talk about the real heart of the project, the engineering. And here in Florida, that really just means one thing. You've got to design for the absolute worst weather you can imagine. I absolutely love this phrase, engineering for the worst day. It's so true. Engineers aren't designing for a beautiful, calm afternoon. Nope. They are designing for a Category 4 hurricane hitting. They use what's called the ultimate design wind speed, or VULT, to figure out the maximum possible force that structure needs to handle. And your location is everything. If your home is right on the coast, the wind pressure it has to withstand is so much higher than a home just a few miles inland. And this is exactly why a one-size-fits-all, cookie-cutter approach is so dangerous here. It just doesn't work. The right way to do it is with what's called site-specific engineering. This is where a professional uses your exact property data to calculate the precise wind forces your enclosure is going to face. This ensures it's built perfectly for your spot, not over-engineered and costing you too much, and definitely not under-engineered and putting you at risk. But look, even the strongest, best-designed cage in the world is totally useless if it's not anchored to a solid foundation. Think about it. All that wind force gets caught by the roof, travels down the walls, and it has to go somewhere, into the ground. That's why just bolting an enclosure to your patio pavers is a massive mistake. Pavers aren't structural. You need a proper, dedicated concrete footer to safely anchor the whole thing. Okay, so we've got the permits, the engineering, the foundation. We're making progress. Now let's zoom in a little and talk about the details, the actual materials that make the difference between a pool cage that lasts a few years and one that lasts for decades, especially with our salty coastal air. This is such a great example. You know that beautiful salt air we have here? Well, it is incredibly corrosive. It just eats standard metal. So if a contractor uses cheap, zinc-plated screws and bolts, sure, it might look fine on day one, but give it a year or two and you're gonna see ugly rust streaks and worse, a structure that's getting weaker. The only way to do it right here is with high-grade stainless steel fasteners that are designed to fight off that corrosion. And it's not just about the hardware. Even the screen itself has a bunch of different options, and they're all tailored to how you live. Standard mesh is great, but if you're near the water, you're probably gonna want no-see-um mesh for those tiny little biting gnats. Got a dog or a cat? There's a super durable pet screen that's literally 7 times stronger than standard screen. Choosing the right mesh makes a huge difference in how much you actually enjoy your new space. Okay, whew. We've covered a lot of the technical stuff. Now, let's bring it all home and talk about how to put this into practice. We're going to look at the most common and, frankly, most expensive mistakes homeowners make so that you can avoid them completely. So there are really 3 major traps you have to watch out for. First is the no permit trap. Yeah, it might seem cheaper and faster up front, but it can make it impossible to sell your house down the road, and it could even void your homeowner's insurance if a storm hits. Second, ignoring the concrete. Bolting a cage to pavers is just asking for it to fail in the first big storm. And finally, be wary of the generic quote. If a contractor isn't specific about the materials they're using, like the fasteners, it's a huge red flag that you're in for hidden costs and problems later. So how do you protect yourself from all this? It's simple. You use this pre-contract checklist. Before you sign anything, just ask your contractor these 5 questions. A true professional will be happy to answer every single one of them. If they get dodgy or can't give you a straight answer, well, that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? So if there's one single thing that you take away from all of this, let it be this. A pool enclosure in Sarasota is an engineered system, not just a screen over a pool. Every single part, from the permit and the engineering, down to the fasteners and the foundation, they all have to work together perfectly. That's what creates an addition that's not only safe and durable, but one that truly adds value to your home.
You know, Sarasota is just an incredible place for outdoor living, and a well-built enclosure really lets you make the most of it. If you happen to be looking for experienced professionals who really understand the Florida codes, the engineering, and the permitting, Screen Factory Florida can help. You can find their contact information right there in the video description.